Hey guys, it's MeAdmiralStarks back with another top 10 best of something premium in Enlisted, and today we are touching on the top 10 best aircraft, planes, CAS, fighters, ground strikers, you name it. We're gonna be going through, I'm gonna say probably yes, my favorite premium aircraft in the game, because when actually you think about it, there aren't actually that many. If I really had to choose from the tanks, which the video, if you've not seen, I'll just leave it somewhere up in the corner. Then from the planes, I almost had to add some random planes just to get 10 that I really liked. And again, most of these aircraft in this video I have played myself or have played an equivalent from the Tech 3. And we're going to start off with number 10. And the number 10 is actually the one that I have not played, and I've only taken it out in the practice range, and it is the Breda 88. I've filled the number 10 spot with this one because having 3 100-kilogram bombs and 3 50 cals in the nose in the battle rating 2 is actually very, very solid. These bombs are going to take out any tank. They're going to take out a lot of infantry, and if you do get your guns on target, they will absolutely shred the opposition. Downsides, it is rather big, kind of slow to turn, so it's a really, really easy target to take out, sadly. In number 9, we really don't need to go too far to look for number 9, and again, it looks like I've not played it, but when you think about it, BF109 G14 is in the Tech 3, so we all kinda in the essence, we know how the G14 plays. Now, the premium variant actually have some slight differences in terms of the gun arrangement. If you take a look at the premium variant here, instead of extra 20 mils, 220 mils, you actually have two wing-mounted, underwing mounted MK108 30 millimeters, and the MK108s, the 30 mils for Germans, are rather underwhelming if you want to shoot like ground targets and tanks and things like that. If you do hit a plane, then it's very nice and all, but this comes in to place number 9 because it's extremely specified a fighter, and it really doesn't do anything else too well. Even if you might get lucky and get some ground kills with the 30 mil, it's just like if there's no planes up in the sky, this thing is rather pointless. As you can see, when I make these videos, I really don't look at battle ratings, which is higher, which is lower. I really want to find a tank, a plane that can really punch above its weight. That's why you're going to see how the top 5 ends up in this video. But for place number 8, again, we're going to have to go to the research tree. And yeah, I said I've played all of them. It's a P51 C10. And again, you can see I don't have it, but we have the Tech 3 variant, and they have so little to none differences in terms of stats that I feel qualified to say that I have definitely played this one, and the premium one actually climbs a little bit faster than the Tech 3 one. It is at battle rating 2, having 450 cals and 2 100-pound bombs, which is essentially 250 kilos. It's okay. You can deal with some infantry if you're really accurate, some tanks, but yeah, those 50 cals are gonna be really, really nice against any enemy aircraft. And you have the red tails iconic camo or livery or whatever you would call it for the plane, and the only downside I can see, the bombs could have been a little bit bigger, and you need to really work on your engine management, throttle inputs, because this thing really, really likes to overheat. Apart from that, it is fast, it is deadly, especially fighting other aircraft, and it's a lovely aircraft. That's why it is in our top 8. In place number 7, I was debating about the P51 and another aircraft, which is this one right here, the Ki-61I squad for the Japanese. And again, it looks like I have not played it, but the Tech 3 equivalent is pretty much exactly the same, with the same guns, with the same cannons, machine guns, same bombs. The only difference being the premium one actually is slower, but it climbs faster and it turns much, much better. So a battle rating 4, I think this is a nice little bonus if you're actually more maneuverable rather than fast. It means that you're going to be able to potentially outturn the enemy high tier fighters, and having 2 100-kilo bombs is always nice because it's like the smallest big bomb you probably want on your plane. Anything smaller than that becomes kinda you need to be a very surgically accurate to do any damage. But this aircraft, kind of similarly to P51 C10, comes into the place number 7. Now, maybe slightly controversial actually aircraft that did not make it into the top 5. That's why it is in top 6. In the 6th place, we have the newly... Wait. How do I get out? Newly updated P63A10. And yes, there are a lot of flaws with this aircraft. The guns. Let's start with the guns. This 37mm M10 cannon definitely needs better ammo. It is nowhere near performing as good as it probably could be. Having 450 cals M2 Brownings are really nice to have them. That's a lot of like a concentrated shooting from the nose and then 2 under the wings. But it just seems like on this aircraft, the guns really don't do any damage. It almost feels like the Tempest Mark V syndrome, where aircraft has seemingly on paper really good guns, but they absolutely don't work against aircraft whatsoever. Now, why this thing has made it up to the top 6 is that we have now a 250 kilo bomb, which is the average nice bomb that you like to carry if you want to take out tanks and infantry, which is very lovely. And this thing being battle rating 4 and maybe a little bit slower than some of the BR4 and BR5 planes, this thing can actually climb very nicely and it can outmaneuver and outturn a lot of the top dogs. And just for that reason, because it's capable to dogfight some of the top tier planes, and it has a nice bomb, and hopefully the guns will be updated, fixed, or I don't know. I can't believe they're as bad as they are. This thing comes into the place number 6. Now moving on with top 5, it is an interesting top 5. Ooh, something's 30% off. Oh, these guys are 30% off. Nice. Anyway, moving on to the top 5. Top 5 is an aircraft, a nemesis of mine that I really can't stand flying, but people for some reason really like them. And it is none other than Focke-Wulf 190 D9. And again, it is copy-paste variant with the D12 from the Tech 3, but apart from the Tech 3 one and the premium, I actually have the premium one, and I have actually played it. The only difference being from the Tech 3 one, this is an absolute carpet bomber. You have 8 50-kilogram bombs, and if you stretch them out nicely, or you can actually do like a couple of drops at a time, you can deal with infantry nicely. Now, my big love-hate relationship with Focke-Wulfs is that they are rolling extremely aggressively, and they really do like to compress where you go high speed, and it just the control surfaces can't handle that, and you compress, pancake, and crash into the ground. If you use it as a high altitude fast fighter, boom and zoom, and couple of times drop your bombs, it can be really, really, really good in some of really good pilots of the game. For me, I usually try and skip Focke-Wulfs, but because on paper and in practice, if you learn this thing, you're gonna absolutely dominate. So that's why this guy is in top 5. In top 4, we are moving on to top 4. We need to go to the American side, and here we go. Can someone guess? Yes, you can. FB5. This guy sitting at only battle rating 3, having 650 cals, a drop tank, which I have very limited success ever. Like, I'm not good with drop tanks. Like, they don't work for me at all. 4 HVAR rockets at battle rating 3 with all of those 50 cals, reasonable speed for the battle rating. This thing is solid. This thing is very, very solid for the battle rating it is sitting in, and this is exactly why it is in top 4. And by the end of the video, you're actually gonna realize that this is basically a top 3 place already, because in the top 3 in my list, I have an aircraft that is absolutely 100% punching above its weight. Okay, it's not in the Tech 3 here. I'm actually gonna have to look for it. This is the RE2001CN, sitting in the 3rd place because this is battle rating 1. And yes, it's slow. Yes, it's overheating. But it can turn, and it can turn like crazy. You could borderline, if you don't get swarmed 2 versus 1 against any top tier plane that Soviets or Americans are gonna throw at you, this thing can outturn and outdo. We have 50 cals, we have 20 mils, and we have a 250 kilo bomb down on the bottom here that will take again out any tank in any battle rating. This thing is an absolute gem. Now, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't done my full-on research. If any of the aircraft is no longer available for sale, I think this might be one of those that you can't get, but I can't confirm. If you can't get it, well, shame. It is really, really good. This thing is definitely punching above its weight. That's why it is in the third place. In the second place, it's another aircraft that has been newly updated, and I have been absolutely fangirling on around this aircraft, and it's none other than Yak 9K, sitting at battle rating 3. Again, not one of the fastest aircrafts in the game, definitely, but this thing can turn, and because of its slower speed and still very agile chassis and shape and all that, it can really outturn some of the higher class aircrafts quite easily. And now, although this thing does not have bombs, for the tanks, it really don't need bombs because we have the NS-40 5mm cannon. Now, it's no longer the biggest cannon in the game, but it is one of the most effective because in the last patch, this thing received an APHE shell, and this literally deletes any tanks up to BR3. You need to be a little bit more careful and accurate with Panthers and Tiger 1s. It still deletes them, and you really need to go top down, but it will easily take out Tiger 2Ps and Tiger 2Hs, and this is the aircraft that is punching way above its weight. For BR3, for the price, for everything, this thing is currently the hot stuff in the game. If you like to fly, if you like boom and zoom casts and things like that, ground striking, tank striking with this, it is super, super fun, and that's why it is sitting in the place number 2. And you might be guessing who's going to be sitting in the first place, because in my papers, the plane in the first place that I have written down is none other than this guy. None other than this guy, which is the Tempest Mark V, which I'm pretty sure you can't get anymore. This is a top-tier American-British fighter with 2 500-pound bombs. The good bombs, these are lovely. These take out a lot of things. Updated and actually working 4 20mm Hispanol Mark V cannons really well. They are absolutely deadly against aircraft. They just shred things to bits. This thing is reasonably fast, reasonably well at turning, and it climbs reasonably well as well. I said well so many times there, but sadly, as far as I'm aware, it's no longer available. So whenever they do, oh, this is available for 3 days only, exclusive, you can buy it. If this thing goes on for sale, same as the black Italian German plane, if you want a good aircraft, then look no further. This can do it all. This can literally do it all. So minus this one, yeah, you can just see that the Yak 9K, the Italian RE, and the FP5, those would be the top 3 realistically if you take this one out of the count. But this is my top 10. And again, if these planes made into the top 10, it doesn't matter which order I place them. If they made it in here, they are worth something, and they're actually rather good. Every other aircraft that I left out, I just didn't feel like I almost had to look for aircraft. I am pretty sure that none other would have made the list unless they add something new, unless they update some other aircrafts, give some bombs, rockets, or better guns. But so far, this is where I stand. Again, thank you so much, guys, for watching. I don't think I'm going to be doing this for the infantry squads because there's just way too many infantry squads that I have not played for each nation. There's just so many infantry squads that I haven't played for each nation that I just don't feel confident enough to do that sort of top 10. So for tanks and the planes, here you go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.